Hey there. Welcome to the epilogue video, or maybe we could call it the aftermath video. I left you guys in Redmond, Oregon. So from there I went to the coast. I went to Florence, I believe the name of the town was. And I went north up the coast a little while, came through Portland, stopped at Moscow Moto's Bates Motel, stayed the night there, and then from there it was on to Highway 84, and I just booked my way home. It was a whole bunch of miles on the road, and I took a couple little videos of things that happened on the way back to Colorado. Look, we just hit 20,000 miles, and we're out here in the lava fields of Sisters, Oregon. Nice. And in case you're wondering which volcano you're looking at, how crazy is that? There it is. It's noon. We're down to half a liter of warm Gatorade, and we're on the twistiest road in all of Oregon on a dirt bike with knobbies. Hit it. I stopped here in Florence to get oil and a filter for a change, and I just had to look at this brand new RL and how shiny that thing is. It's so shiny. That's a pretty nice view. In case you were wondering, the one thing that has not changed, every day starts with coffee. All right. So yesterday I had trouble starting the bike. A little research. I think it's an under voltage circuit that doesn't let the starter motor actually work. So this is what happens. You turn it on. Voltage is 13.4. That's plenty to start it. And we're gonna hit the start. Fuck. You can see I'm holding it down. Oh, and I got nothing. Come on. There it goes. So you hold it down, it engages and tries to twist, or I can't tell. I don't think it's actually turning the motor over. So it's more like the solenoid is going in, but it's not spinning. So it's not the reduction gear breakage, it's something else. I'm gonna have to do some research, and so far it's started every time after doing that a bunch of times, but anyways, there we are. So welcome to Price, Utah, which is my nemesis. This is where they tried to steal my bike last time. This time I come here and I'm having trouble getting the bike running. Anyways, hopefully we're only 6 hours from home. I'm just gonna sit, ride, get new gas every 200 miles, and just repeat until I'm home. Well, I made it to Colorado. I'm pretty close to home. I had to stop for gas. I did this the whole way here without turning the bike off. And now the bike starts, but here I am at this gas station, and the tire is completely completely flat, and the inner tube has sucked itself up inside the tire. So I was just hoping for one day where nothing went wrong. That is not today. Here's my tire repair kit, by the way, and I did bring an extra inner tube. The flat is all fixed and it's back on. It took me just a couple minutes. I do not know what's going on, man, but I'm in Rifle, Colorado, so I'm really close to home. I just got to turn a corner, and man, there's all kinds of, oh yeah, I'm facing the wrong way. Everything around my chain is looking black and dark and gnarly, and I don't know what's getting eaten up down there, but something's not making it. So we are so close to home, so close. So there you go. Every day something broke, fell off, got lost or whatever. So I wrote all this down. Here's the trip by numbers. The total miles on the trip were 4,452. I only really meant to do 3,000, but there you go. I'm gonna call it 4,500 to make life easier. The total miles on the bike once I got back were 21,577, and it's been running really, really good despite all the abuse it's taken. I did 2 oil changes, so I've averaged about 1,500 miles per oil change. That is not the question y'all should be asking. You should be asking, how often do you change your oil and how is it running? I went through 102 gallons of gas, and for the whole trip, and keeping in mind that probably almost 4,000 of those miles were road miles, and most of them at speed, my average miles per gallon for the whole thing was 43.5 miles per gallon. The aftermath. So what broke on this trip? The very first thing, if you recall, was my cigarette lighter power port that ended up having to rewire into those 2 power takeoffs that I already have installed on the bike. That worked. The insert for the Graves muffler popped out on day 1 and is gone, and the entire trip I rode with, I don't know what the decibel level was, but my ears are still ringing, and they'll probably be ringing for the next month. The bike was so loud, so all the people I pissed off riding around, I am so sorry. I did not mean to be that loud. Let's see, what else happened? I lost 3 master clips off my chain. The Rebel fairing bracket broke, and then it spent the rest of the trip with those 2 Moskomoto cam buckles holding the thing on, and it's still on. And remember, I did the rest of the BDR with it set up that way, so I mean it worked. The chain slider broke, and again, thanks to Brian Price for helping me fix that and going and getting it. And the chain guide wore through the bottom and blew out, which led to the sprocket, the rear sprocket, taking a lot more wear than it should have. My drivetrain is finished, so I need front and rear sprockets and a new O-ring chain, which is kind of a bummer because I've been getting really good mileage out of those DID chains. But it is what it is. It's cooked, and I need to replace the whole thing. Let's see, I had a buckle on my tank bag break, and then I repaired it, and then the repair broke. My fault. I screwed that up. See, I had a flat tire just before I got home, and I went through a set of tires. So this is what the tire looks like now after, this is what the Motaz RAL Z tire looks like after 4,500 miles. Right? Not bad for a knobby. And let me say something else about the flat. When I got the flat, I knew something was going on because the front went out of balance and it was bouncing. But I did not realize the front tire was flat until I stopped for gas. I probably did, I don't know, 20 miles on that front tire and it maybe had 5 PSI in it. The Rousey tires are, I believe they're designed for a heavier bike, so the sidewall is super stiff, but it is one of those tires that if you got a flat, it's stiff enough on your little CRF450L that you can still get some mileage out of it. So the Rouseys did great for a knobby to get that many miles and to treat me that well. Love those tires, love them. Let's see, so a set of tires, the drivetrain, and of course I lost my favorite travel tripod, which fit really, really nice on the back of the bike. And then I had to get that garbage one from, where was I? Jackson Hole. So that's the stuff that broke and went wrong, but some of the stuff that, also the, you saw the starter issue where it would click in and spin, but it wouldn't actually do anything until like the 4th or 5th hit. I really think that's a low voltage thing that keeps the starter from actually spinning the motor if the voltage is too low. That went away. It starts fine now, so I'm gonna have to dig in and figure out some relay or something, what went wrong with that. But that's doing fine now. So for all that stuff that broke, you know what didn't break? The tires themselves didn't break. The flat was actually due to a slow leak in the valve stem, which I had been after. I've been chasing, I'd been airing things up, and somewhere along the way it just got faster. But the tires themselves did great. The Moskomoto bags that I kept falling down on, right? They didn't break, they didn't leak water. The bike overall did great, other than that one little weird ignition error that corrected itself. And everything I wore, we had a mini heat wave, and it was one of those times where it's actually cooler to have your visor down than up because the hot air blasting you is like a hair dryer in your face. Everything I wore, all my Moskomoto layers, all my force field armor layers, my RI helmet, my CD boots that fit my feet, it all worked perfectly. I was always comfortable. I was cooking, but I didn't get any wear spots or any of that weird pinching or anything like that. So that all worked really good. So I don't want to make this sound like the trip was horrible. It wasn't. It was amazing. I got to do the Wyoming BDR. I got to go to the Pacific Northwest Overland Expo and meet a lot of y'all and hang out with my Moskomoto peeps. Brian Price from Atomic Motor, I got to meet him and talk to him about boots, and hopefully we're going to set something up where I'll do a boot review for him. Well, not for him, but for the boots. But if you guys need boots, look up Atomic Moto. I stopped at Upshift Online in Boise, and I talked to Brendan and Chris, and they are going to run my story and my photos in the magazine at some point. I took a lot of really good photos with the camera. Everything you see posted on Instagram right now is all from this. It's from my iPhone. But I do carry a DSLR, a mirrorless camera that I take, better photos with. And those will be showing up here soon-ish. Chad and Ted from the BMW Motorcycle Owners Association. I got to talk with them. Super nice guys, so nice. And I got to go to the coast and dip toes in the sand. The idea was to keep going west until my feet got wet. Mission accomplished. And that was super cool. The first day I was there, it was really nice. It was windy because it's the shore. And then the second day I was there, it was so foggy. I think I got like 1 or 2 pictures the whole day. And the rest of the time you could tell there was an ocean out there, but you couldn't actually see it. And by the time it cleared up, I turned inland into Portland. And Portland was just a shit show. It was just traffic and it was horrible. Anyways, would I do it again? Absolutely, but I would replace the entire drivetrain pre-ride so that it wouldn't wear out during the ride. Same thing, brand new tires, brand new brake pads. The fronts are pretty well worn. So there's a couple things I would definitely change up, but not many. For the most part, everything went, I thought, really well, other than a couple things that broke. And speaking of, would I do this again? Yes. And I'm planning on, so for everybody who's listening, next year, if they do another Overland Expo Pacific Northwest, I plan on doing the brand new Oregon BDR in conjunction with the Expo. Now, will I do one before the other? That depends on when the Expo is. And understanding Oregon has some passes we're probably going to have to get over in the snow, and they may or may not be open by mid-July or whatever. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But so if anybody wants to do a BDR and you're kind of open on the time frame, next year Oregon BDR to Expo or Expo to BDR, one or the other. For that, I will probably, honestly, I will truck my bike because I'll have a spot to stop, right? This one I didn't. This one was Colorado up to Wyoming and across to Oregon and back down through Idaho and Utah to get back to home. So there was no place to leave the truck. This is all assuming that I get 911 bike all fixed up, the engine rebuilt, because it's due. I haven't checked anything. I haven't checked compression or leak down. I haven't done checked the valves or anything. The bike sounded fine. It was kind of hard to tell how smooth it was with the chain kind of trying to unwind itself all the time. So there's a couple things I have to do, but yeah, so there you go. So overall, nobody died. It was a good trip. All right. Thank you guys as always for tuning in, and thank you guys for talking to me in the comment sections. I really like that. I like talking to y'all. And getting your advice and hearing your stories, and every once in a while telling me what an idiot was. I'm like, yeah, I know I was a moron, but I really enjoy that part. So thank you guys for being part of this whole 4,500-mile trip, and I'll see you in the next video. Really get this on there straight-ish. Oh, I want that part to stick. There we go.